What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Canes Insight Podcast, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. We are live at the Lickin' Miami Gardens. You see the banner. You know where we're at. Favorite place on the world for a game day. Got the fried broccoli coming up. I know Pete's going to be getting those lamb chops. Already saw Taylene. Chefs are working hard. This place is starting to fill up. Get down to the Lickin'. No brainer. Right next, we're 5 minutes from the stadium. Beat the traffic. It's Friday. You know rush hour is going to be insane. If you're just going straight from Miami or Broward or wherever to Miami Gardens late night, it's going to be a tough deal. Wait. Be patient. Or don't be patient. Get here, chill, relax, and get out there to the game. 5 minutes away, eating great food and watching TV and hanging out.
Yeah, man, I was pumped up this morning when we did our little kind of breakfast with the Canes. At first, it was just breakfast with D-Money, and then I hopped in there, and I was pumped up driving over here. It's a beautiful day outside. D, I think the weather finally should be cooperating with us on a game day, which, as we understand, it was nice in Tallahassee there. We saw how the offense exploded up there, and Carson Beck in particular. But that weather was very nice pulling in here to the Licking. And as it gets into the nighttime here, should be very, very nice conditions for this game tonight.
Absolutely. And I apologize, we were a little late. This is not our usual running around. There was some construction next door. So I want to let settle a little bit. Did a show this morning. Now we're going to get you multiple shows here live from the Lickin'. Again, beat the traffic. Get over here, post up, get some food, open bar, enjoy yourself, and then slide right to the game instead of trying to get to the game late. You get your food taken care of, get your drink taken care of, and you get the traffic avoided here at the Lickin'. Green Tree asking, chat, do we like Miami point total over 31.5? I do. I'd bet on every single Miami-related deal here in this game. And maybe I'm wrong. I've been calling a close game the past 2 weeks, and Pete's been making fun of me. He's saying you're calling the game close, and then when you break it down, you make it sound like a blowout. And I was just nervous about that inevitable letdown because we've seen it so many times, rivalry game, college football, whatever it is. Maybe that'll happen, but if it happens, it happens. I'm looking at these matchups, and I think Miami is going to completely destroy Louisville today. They're fired up. I think that the mood of the team is they want to prove something on national TV to show they can kill these bad ACC teams, which we've been waiting for. We're waiting for them to beat them consistently. But really, if Miami's operating the way it should, you should be killing these teams. These teams are not good. We cannot pretend they are good. Can't lower the standard. Have to knock them out. So, Pete, you've been doing the opposite. You've been being composed. When you make the pick, you've been picking big, and we've been dominating. So I need to go to your side. I can't lie to myself anymore.
Yeah, and I'm trying to pull up the post that we made this morning with the predictions. And my number was 35-20, and I feel like it could be even bigger margin than that for Miami. So, sometimes these picks, first of all, we were asked by our guy Camden Burton like last week for these picks, like Monday last week of the bye week. And I didn't send it in initially, but I still sent it in relatively early. And the more that I've gotten into Louisville and, how Miami matches up with them, I think that the margin could be even larger than that.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your support. A lot of names in the chat here as we get ready for the game. It's Friday. Everybody's enjoying themselves. Hopefully the work week is close to done. I know people got different schedules. But either way, Miami's playing tonight. We'll be watching them dominate. So again, appreciate everybody here in the chat. I want to get into a little recruiting there, Pete, because we're going to break down – we have broken down this game. We're going to break it down offense, defense, special teams, the whole deal, even more on these various shows that we're doing here live from the Lickin'. But I want to talk recruiting because we got commits playing their senior year. So we got senior film coming up. I know we're going to start with Darion Coleman, who's got his senior midseason film already out. And there are names on the board that are real. Some names maybe not so real. But then there's really, really high priority targets that Miami would love to add. High priority commits that Miami definitely would like to keep. And, we're monitoring these guys throughout their senior year. Some guys rise, some guys fall, some guys jump on the map. So it's important to I know the staff and the recruiting department is really lasered in on making sure that they're hitting their senior season evals because those have proven to be very predictive of college performance.
Yeah, they're watching these guys every single week. And this is not box score watching. They're watching the tape of not just this class, D, but classes for the future. So we're talking about the senior evaluations right now. And there's a lot of that going on, but it's just very impressive. And I think that's when you talk about what Mario's done recruiting wise and the staff that he's built out. And we say there's so many people in the building. That's where, yes, Jason Taylor, Damian Lewis are obviously locked in with the guys and trying to make sure that they stay humming and playing at a high level. So how do you stay on top of your guys committed and all that? It's a huge operation in there. We'll go position by position here, but you said it, man. They are laser focused on the flips here. I think they have. I'll put it to you this way: they know how many days it is until National Signing Day, and Mario is very well aware of it as well. So I think there's pressure. Not pressure in a bad way. I think good pressure inside the building of, hey, we are hot right now. Let's strike while it's hot, because the guys are coming on. A lot of guys are making their visits. You're winning in front of them. You have good crowds to show them. So it's the full picture right now. If you're recruiting for Miami and they're saying, look, we got to get it done now, because if it doesn't happen now, when is it going to happen?
100%. Ride the momentum. This is the moment. Like you said, if not now, when? I think this is not, the players aren't thinking about this, but if you're Mario and the coaches, national TV Friday night, you want to show everybody, hey, we're in the ACC, but we're not an ACC team. There's levels to this. I think they showed that in the out-of-conference Florida Notre Dame, but still, you want to pummel these teams. You cannot play down to your competition. So that's why I think, from Mario's standpoint, not only does he want the team to be locked and loaded every week for a million reasons, trying to win a championship, I think he is thinking also, hey, a lot of people watching on this Friday, we're going to see a team that looks like a Miami team destroying an inferior team. So that's the goal. Goal's to win, stay healthy. That's really the most important thing. But ultimately, all you can control is your performance, and you hope that this is going to be a classic Canes performance. If it is, Louisville's going to get completely demolished because they aren't as good. So let's talk recruiting here at the quarterback position, Pete. Let's start it off with Darion Coleman, firm commit from Orlando. Jones, 6'0 and a half. They listen to 165. That actually sounds about accurate. Smaller quarterback, long arms, big hands. You know the story with Coleman. Nationals composite, he's 218, 17th ranked quarterback. 247 is lower on him, 20th ranked quarterback. So 3-star, 4-star, depending where you look. It's a 4-star on the composite. But Pete, senior midseason film came out.
I'm waiting for it to buffer. That's why, because the internet back here.
Let it
right
buffer.
Now. Yeah.
Let it buffer. But really, I think I've heard nothing to suggest we want another quarterback. There's a focus on 27. We talked about Trent Seaborn from Alabama. Talked about Elijah Haven from Baton Rouge.
I have some info on that. I should have talked to you before the show.
Go. Give it to us. You're breaking to me.
I will say that I think that Seaborn is I think that one's gonna probably happen sooner rather than later, and it wouldn't surprise me if the news of the Haven interest is something that's gonna push him to do that.
Yeah, we'll see. That's recruiting for you. That's the latest buzz from Pete, by the way. Thank you to BUZZN, BUZZN. That's drinkbuzzn.com. 7.5 milligrams of THC. All the hang, no hangover. Want to switch from alcohol, cut back on your alcohol, still want to have a good time. BUZZN, BUZZN. You can order anywhere. drinkbuzzn.com. Or if you want to pick it up in person, Big Daddy's Liquors all over South Florida.
And shout out to Ladarius asking if I'm throwing the skirt steak on the grill tonight. Of course, from Lomelo's Meat Market. It's game day today. And listen, I know a lot of you are going to be at the game and maybe tailgating. If not, you're going to be joining us here at the Licking. But if you're getting on the grill tomorrow, Lomelo's Meat Market, nationwide shipping, Wagyu beef right to your door. If you're local here in Miami, you got the store right past Dayland on US 1, 9810 South Dixie Highway. Look at the marbling on this steak right here. And here is the skirt steak that Ladarius was referencing here. Promo code CIS10 for 10% off your order.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, the marbling never fails. Jojo Gunstein should do a quick live from the tailgate. This is the tailgate right here.
Yeah.
This is our tailgate. We got our food here. We got our drinks here. I don't drink. My drink is BUZZN. So I got my drink here. But if you do, they got a full bar. Anything you need right there. The menu options are, I saw some good tailgate menus, but I don't think you're going to beat the Licking. Chef Bridget, the whole crew out here. So this is our tailgate. You come early, you sit right here.
Nice air
conditioning, watch TV, the kids can eat, everything all good. You can drink all that, and then boom, right there to the game. Or if you want to just stop on the way to the tailgate, you could do that too. Get some grub and then go drink at the tailgate. You could do that as well. Ladarius said, 2 for 2 throwing the alley today. First with OrchidMan, now with LaMelos. Ladarius, we appreciate you. The Chris Paul of the chat.
And of course, guys, we're talking about the licking. If you can't make it here for the pregame, then you can always pick food up on the way home. Again, right down the street. You don't want to eat fast food. You want to eat some real food. Pick it up, order it, leaving the stadium on Uber Eats, and you're good to go. I know Kane's Cats Heat 305 has done that many times before. So I'm worried to play this video, D, without it.
We'll see how it looks. You guys, let's know in the chat here how it looks here. We're out of Peter's pristine Coral Gables studios. So let us know how this looks. I want to play some video of Darion Coleman and what he's doing.
And we'll these came out a few days ago. So this is as updated as you're going to get in terms of his stuff. Yeah, it's
a little choppy.
Might be a little choppy there.
Derek Huck saying, I need that hat.
Yeah.
Judah 12's asked for a score prediction. I think the one I sent over was 42-20, something like that. I think it's going to be a lot to a little. I think it's going to be more similar to USF than to like a Notre Dame. I think it'll be now USF. The pace allowed us to run up. I don't know what Louisville is going to do as far as it getting away from us or away from them, but
the trenches.
I don't love that matchup.
And I know we're going to talk more about it in the second hour, the actual matchup, as we're talking recruiting stuff here. We tend to be all over the place, and unfortunately, we don't have Saturday games on right now, so it's a little different than our normal show here because we do like to get into the games that are going on. But I'm pulling up the I guess it was Trenton who had tweeted out. I posted on Instagram. I had 35-20. He had, what'd you have again?
I had 42-20 something. So basically like an extra touchdown on top. I think Miami, from being around the program this week, I was down there, they just seem locked in, man. I know it's a cliche, but have you seen them come out flat any game? Even Florida, which was closer than it should have been for a while, ended up being a blowout. They've covered, I believe, every game except for Bethune, which is Mario's friend, right? They've covered every single game.
Yeah.
So Bethune was a mercy deal because, again, Mario respects the coach. He's not going
Florida State was up 4.5 point spread.
Yeah, they got that one. Should have been worse. But they've covered every game, and I think they'll continue to cover here. Bodie says, let's go 6-0. If you ask the coaches, they'll say, and the players, 1-0. But, yeah, 6-0 would look good.
All right, here we go. Here's the prediction graphic.
Oh, here we go.
From our boy Camden Burton.
Shout out to Camden Burton. There we go.
Some pretty, the one who has it close is Mike, 31-24. And I think his rationale the other day when we were talking about on the show, D, was he said we're going to give up a garbage time touchdown at the end.
Could be. We've been doing it lately.
That's not horrible reasoning there, but 24 points. They could score 24, but I think we win by 2 touchdowns here, man.
Yeah, the arena. Looking forward to seeing you here at the Lickin'. OrchidMan's got a 41-15. OrchidMan, I don't want to blow up his spot. I believe he was at practice this week, so he's the one that knows how we look the most intimately for this season. So, I think that's what he's saying. Fence Post saying these scores are too high. I'm guessing you mean on the right side of the deal.
Trenton Breeze coming in live from Algebra 2.
Man, I don't even remember Algebra 2. Do you remember that? Was that like – I couldn't even do Algebra right now if I tried.
Is that where they have like the X's?
Yeah, it's the letters.
Yeah. That's
the lowercase n's.
Listen, that's a little out of my pay grade.
Yeah, I know minus 13.5, and I know go take the minus sign.
The totals. He's talking about the totals.
I think we're gonna push that number. We're gonna push that number.
So what's the overall total in this one?
Let's see. So I'm sure some degenerate in the chat has it. Let's see.
Because Miami's 31.5. which I feel obviously by saying they're going to score 35 that they're going to hit. Phil says algebra is the easy math, by the way.
The easy math. What's the hard one? Trigonometry. I remember I hated the thing with the geometry was tough. Anything with the protractor and those things were always tough.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
Yeah, math was never my thing.
So okay, 49 and a half.
Oh,
is what it is.
Yeah, we're gonna get 40. So add 10 to that.
Yeah, I guess mine is 55. That's not that over the top. I guess yours is almost 2 touchdowns over that, which I can understand why Fence Post is saying that. But you're looking at a Braum team that historically scores and has playmakers, and the O-line we understand is pretty bad, but they've got playmakers. So I think that factoring that in with what we've seen from Miami, and you give them another bye week now to hopefully correct some of the penalties and the stuff that they should have probably scored more points in some of these games, right? I don't think it's that crazy to say 50 points here.
Yeah, I think it seems to me they might be betting against Miami's offense, right? Because Louisville's had a statistically pretty good defense. They play well together, at least have to this point. They get turnovers. Miami hasn't been like overly explosive where you're just, lighting teams up. But seeing the weather, seeing the way the team is, I think it's going to be a high scoring affair on the Miami side. Shout out to the arena, driving down from Orlando with the crew. Be at the Lick-In at 4. Huge win today, boys. Appreciate you. Appreciate the whole crew. Shout out to everybody in the van or the SUV or the car, whatever you got rolling on with the crew. Appreciate you guys.
Cloud Fleet Creation says, I hear the hiss of the Venom Boa boys. Yes, that was why we were a little delayed
the construction
at the start. Yeah, there's some construction going on next to us. So you guys let us know if it gets too loud, but we're working through it right now.
Maybe he meant just the predictions. The boa boa constrictor is getting a little more venomous.
Maybe
it's getting a little more. That's not really a boa constrictor score.
No, it's not. You're right. It's
a hybrid.
That is too much.
That's the hybrid.
Listen, I'm just, like I just said now, I'm kind of throwing in the Braum factor into the equation where they guys like watching the game against Virginia. They had like a fake flea flicker, but like Isaac Brown, like
yes,
faked, like
he ran. That was I think it was a run the whole way.
It was. That's what I'm saying. But like, I hadn't necessarily seen it play out like that before. I mean,
good play.
It was a great play, but
maybe they'll throw it now because it's been on film and they'll crash down and throw it over the top.
That's what I'm saying. There might be a twist to it. And you have to imagine that, like we saw Norvell do. And I think we're going to see this the rest of the way. Which people got kind of up in arms about Braum saying, I guess he talked to the Florida staff about some stuff game plan.
People got up in arms. You were getting up in arms. Oh, about the game plan.
No, the game plan.
The comment when he said
the game plan. No, I'm talking about he said that he talked to the Florida staff. I think that's probably more common than people realize across college football. There's a lot of friends.
We do it too.
Yeah, it's this. Maybe it was a surprise that he mentioned it, out in the open like that. But I think my point for saying that is what you're going to see the rest of the way is teams are going to throw everything at Miami.
Question from Mr. Merkface. It looks to be in the snow, man. Oh, sorry, brother. Let's get the weather update. Mr. Merkface might not like it. But Mr. Merkface, where are you coming from? I see that doesn't look like the free state of Florida out there. I see some white stuff on the ground. Let us know where you're coming from. As
the radar here, the National Weather Service radar, which has become a staple of these game day shows, thanks to our boy Kane's. Honestly, this is the only thing I use now. Like when I look up the radar, because is it
accurate? Like when
this is the government radar, is what he told me.
Wow, it is looking clear as a whistle.
I mean, it is. I gotta let me hit the share button here. But
yeah.
We and actually, technically, you did miss the weather update because the first thing that I said on this hour of the show was how nice it was pulling in here to the licking, and I think it should be.
Oh, here we go, Mr. Murphy's another Kentucky Cane since '98. What's up with Kentucky, man? We got so many of them. Shout out, Mr. Murkface. Appreciate you.
So the southern hemisphere of Florida looking mighty clear here.
Oh man, I want to go to the beach, man. I went to the beach this morning. I put on some classical music. Just took a little jog to the beach. just wanted to be at peace with the universe right there, chilling before like 6 a.m. right before watching some LSU South Carolina tape.
Yeah, man, this is it's gonna be a nice night. It should be perfect weather out there for the boys. And look, D, we kind of stopped because the huddle wasn't working, but we should probably get back to the recruiting.
Oh yeah, we kind of got off track.
The recruiting up.
Here you go. So big passing game or big running game for the boys today. I think if I'm Louisville, you have to stop the run, because if not, you always, if a team can run whenever they want, like that's the first priority for any defensive coordinator. You got to stop the run. The reason stopping the run is more important than stopping the pass, all things being equal, is that, with a pass, there's a lot more things that can go wrong, whether the throw is bad, the ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage, there's a good pass rush, the ball's wet. Like, there's a million things that can go wrong. Bad snap, like a shotgun snap, you drop it, like when it comes to the timing of a passing play. Running, it's easy. Just hand it to them. So you got to stop the run first, because it's just too easy to run if you can't run. I think Miami can run in dominant fashion against every team left on the schedule. Louisville, especially, they're small. So I think Miami's first option is Fletcher, Lyle, Marty, and just pounding it. So if you're Louisville, I think you have to stop that, which is what FSU did 2 weeks ago. They basically said, we're taking away the running game. It's our number one priority. Safeties were screaming down. You had guys in the box. And that allowed Carson Beck to go over the top. The problem with playing this way against Miami is, number one, Carson Beck's good. Number two, we protect Carson Beck. So it's kind of a pick your poison deal. That's why Miami is so balanced and is such a good team so far this year. I think Louisville will try to stop the run, which will lead to us passing. So I think it'll be a passing game ultimately. That's what I'm thinking.
Phil says, I don't think hemisphere was the correct term there, Pete, when I was talking about, that's why I said the southern hemisphere of Florida, because when you look at the term hemisphere, it's the half of a sphere. I understand the state of Florida is not a sphere, but, everyone needs a good hemisphere every now and then.
I'm with it. I didn't even question it.
So let's get back to the recruiting.
Yeah.
We didn't really finish.
Wait, hold up, real quick. The noble Lord Baconton says, hear you. We're everyone's championship. Let's play bully ball. I'm with you, man. And that's why if we're a championship team, everybody's watching us like a championship team. Let's put on a show and show everybody why they have to treat us that way. National TV. Cannot wait. Love the way this set up on a Friday. But go BFP. Let's get back to recruiting. We're talking about Darian Coleman. We couldn't watch the film, but I know Miami's very happy with what they've seen from Darian Coleman as a senior. You know how he plays. You guys have seen the highlights. Smaller guy, big hands, quick arm, can throw from different arm angles, can really zip it in, can loft it over. Just a lot of arm talent. Quick release, good in RPO, good in all that stuff. So
Johnny Lagoon says we really didn't like geography.
Johnny Lagoon doesn't like geography because he's saying y'all like he's not a Cuban guy from Miami.
Dude, I'll tell you this. I remember at one point in 7th grade geography, the final exam was you had to place every country in the world on the map, and you were basically graded off how many that you could do. And I remember doing pretty darn well with that, man.
Yeah, and me too. Actually, he says, sorry, geometry. It's true. Geometry is tough. That's what we were saying.
Well, but geography is the hemisphere stuff, Okay, so that's what he was getting at.
He's right. And I don't know at all. Good question here from Phil. Get us back to recruiting. You guys talk about Dobson. I think Jordan Hudson can coach him up. Bill Belichick's young girlfriend. With Dobson, I'd heard it was going well, and then I haven't gotten the update as far as what happened. So, I got to figure out what the story is. Nothing would really surprise me. I don't think it's a situation. Look, the guy.
We haven't talked about this actually.
Yeah, because I was really waiting to get the scoop.
Yeah,
like the latest scoop. But it's game day. I don't bother people usually when we get this close to the game. I'll find out probably after, hopefully in the victory celebration. But Miami likes Dobson.
I don't think they disliked them. I also do think, and we've kind of been pretty open on this. I had been posting this on the Discord for months, and I know we've talked about it. Like, I also don't think that Miami felt too confident they were going to keep him. Yeah. Right? Like, and that's not to say they don't like the player, but, and like you said, like, obviously I think they were trying to work things back because they were aware that he'd be reclassifying. They've been aware of that for months.
Yep.
So to say like they didn't want him, I don't think it's true. But I think we saw what happened with Javari Flowers last year with that reclassification. I think if you look at college football now, right? You obviously have to make investments in your freshman class. You have to make investments in the NIL space there. You have to make investments in your own roster to retain. You have to pretty much look at, if I'm paying a kid a certain amount of money, what's the impact going to be day one? What's the need like for your team next year at that position? Quite honestly, Miami looks good at corner next year.
Yeah, see what we can keep, because those are going to be 4 starting caliber corners. But yes,
so there's going to be
there'll be 2 stars either way.
There might be someone who leaves that we don't expect, right? Unfortunately, that's also how this thing goes.
Yep.
But there's also going to be other programs that value it in a certain way, right? And I'm not saying that, oh, well, kids go in there because of a bag, but like if you're valued one way at one place, you have to take that into consideration. And again, I don't think that Miami didn't want the guy, but you have to make decisions along the way. And I personally think he's a good prospect. I know some people will disagree with that. I like the size, the height, weight, speed that you see with him, and he's obviously still young. So there's development to go there. But I think UNC is getting a good player. I'm not gonna like sit here and say that
or someone else. I mean, that's the other part of it too.
We'll
like
see.
This is what October 17th. I mean, Michael Lombardi went to Saudi Arabia. Maybe he came back from Saudi Arabia with a bag.
Not to get we talk about. I talk about Saudi Arabia a lot. I think Miami should do the same thing.
I'm sure it was me too. If it's possible, go.
People were getting on that story like it was a bad thing. If I say Lombardi probably did a heck of a job. By
I'll be there in 2 years for WrestleMania. So, I got to leave the BUZZN at home, but I don't drink anyways. I'll be out there 2 years for WrestleMania. We'll see if we have a booster, to visit and say
it's coming, man. Private equity in college football is coming. I know they're trying to block it now, but
yeah, and 100%. It's the future. We'll see how this all plays out with Dobson. I don't think this is the end of the story. I mean, North Carolina guys, you obviously know what's going on there. It's a disaster. You don't know if this guy's going to be the coach. No one knows what's going to happen. So I would just kind of let the thing play out. And Pete, you're right as far as like we got to pay guys next year. We have 4 really good guys right now that are all eligible to come back. I think Damari Brown could leave to go pro. I don't think he's played enough to do that. Ethan O'Connor could leave to go pro. Again, I don't believe he's played enough to do that. Frederick can't go pro. Lucas can't go pro. So all those guys will be back. So, yeah, that's something. Jabari Antoine, I think, is pushing up to play a lot. We've got a lot of good recruits. Jalen Waters, probably chief among them as far as just pure cover corner, big guy. I would say this, though, Pete. I think Miami is still aggressively pursuing elite corners. That's what I was told. So I don't think Miami is, like, packing it up and saying, we're good at corner. I think they want real deal. I mean, they have some, and they know how valuable they are, by the way. So once you have them, you don't want to lose them. I like having Xavier Lucas, 6'2", running 4'3". OJ Frederick, probably a first-round pick next year. So I like having those guys. I'm sure they do too. They're going to keep recruiting guys like that for this class, 26.
Rich says red flag. Who's leaving, boys? I have no idea. It's complete speculation, but you have to think of there's 4 guys who are starter quality. As D said, maybe one of them goes to the next level, but you got to think there's going to be other programs that come and say, hey, you should be playing more.
Yeah.
Welcome to the portal era, man. That's you're gonna lose guys, unfortunately.
Phil's saying people on Twitter are talking nuts about the kids' mom and stuff. Chill out. I agree. Come on, guys. Don't talk to these kids on Twitter like that. Like throw them a U or like a good article about us. Maybe a bad article about a rival. I would probably do that. I mean, I subtweet that anyways. Every time there's a bad article, I want kids to see about other teams. But don't be weird. Especially if the kid goes somewhere else. It'll be fine. We're the number 2 team in the country. What about North Carolina, man? Relax. Grizz. Look at that, a real one.
Oh, speaking about a real one, man.
What's up, baby?
The GOAT, Fonz in the building.
Canes Connection in the house officially. Now you know it's big money in the building right here. He's fresh from a trip from Saudi Arabia. No, definitely not. Got the big finger wave there. Grizz, you're a real one, man. Trying to get that CIS in the Ann Arbor bar. Who's Michigan playing this week? They got their CIS is probably fired up right now.
Yeah, there's some talk about maybe Moore's job being on the Washington.
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
Big game.
They're at the big house, but
that's a big game. That trip's a tough trip for Washington going over there to play USC or to play Michigan, but they can play. They got a quarterback that can run and throw. Both of them do. That's an interesting game.
Yeah,
kind of an old school Rose Bowl matchup in this new Big Ten. Which talk about blowing up the system. I know my man Fonz, who just walked in, is one of the more eloquent guys I've heard talk about the future of this system. And really, the biggest issue is, to me, this as a conference game is absurd. It's not good for the kids traveling. It's not good for the fans. It doesn't make any sense. We need to get to more of an NFL type model, at least with terms of the divisions, where you have geographically coherent divisions, conferences, something, which we used to have when we grew up watching college football. It was very regional. Now the whole thing's, Washington, Michigan in a conference game is a joke. But it'll be fun to watch while we have it, see what happens. But yeah, sorry for that tangent. That gets me upset.
No, I agree. I mean, you have to think it's going to trend back to what it is, closer to something like it once was with the big two conferences now. But yeah, D, we've been kind of getting sidetracked here in terms of the positional breakdowns. You know, Darion Coleman, just wrapping it up with him. Obviously, he's going to be the quarterback in this class. You still expect them to go to the portal, though, after the year.
100%. Kane's life saying, no one's to tell us about Camden Portis. Must be a big secret. No big secret. We're going position by position. We'll get there.
And by the way, he's one of those guys that, I've been talking about a lot. We've talked about him a decent amount this year on the show. We've actually brought his highlights up. He's been a big-time riser, I think, this season with the film that he's had. But, yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, the quarterback, Coleman, and then portal. I'd bet on a portal kid coming into Miami. As you could tell, we've been recruiting portal players on this show pretty much consistently. Now, Lenora Sellers, that video, it was just kind of like a speculative conversation about Lenora Sellers. Pete put the video out. The thing went insane. And I will say, I was listening to a national podcast, I believe it's called With the First Pick, CBS official podcast. Got Rand Carthen, the old GM for the Titans. And the host is named Wilson. I forget his first name. Ryan Wilson, I believe. He openly, we're talking about Lenore Sellers. Carthen, again, this guy was a GM last year. So this guy's pretty tuned into what the whole thing looks like. He was just fired right before they picked Ward. And he said that with Sellers, yeah, he has some fans in the league. He probably will go first round at some part of the first round based on his film, but the film is not looking good this year. I mean, we see it, but just from an NFL perspective. So if you're Lenore Sellers, he was someone I thought could be potentially the number one pick of the draft. Maybe I was just off, but I don't think I'm overstating his ability. Carson Beck was in a similar situation. We saw what happened. There was an injury thrown in. But Lenore Sellers, theoretically, could decide, hey, reps are good. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, talked about that a million times. Cam Ward, reps are good. Helps you play college football at a high level. Offensive line is going to be there. The running game is going to be there. The track record will be there. Hopefully, Beck at that point will be a first-round pick and a guy who won a lot of games for Miami. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes, man. I would love the fit. I think if Lenore Sellers came here, it would be unbelievable. Yeah, so saying the video did 20,000 views. Yeah, that was a big one.
Can't wait for portal season.
Yeah,
all the speculation that we will be.
Can't wait. It's just right now. The coaches aren't tampering, but we're tampering.
Listen, that's a great time to remind everyone to unite as one. Become a game changer. Join Kane's Connection today.
There it is.
To make a lasting impact on our athletes' future. canesconnection.com/CIS. You see it here. D just brought it up. Again, united as one. Become a game changer.
Yeah, so listen, I see everybody in the chat throwing their names in. Look, if you're in the chat right now, throw in the name of who you want at quarterback for Miami next year. We'll just read them off right here. What the Canes Connection logo. Could be Emery too. Listen, Emery is a Canes Connection athlete as well. Luke Nickel is a Canes Connection athlete. So that's how this thing works. You want this thing to keep looking the way it's looking a certain way. There's only one way that happens, and that is with all of us doing what we can. canesconnection.com/CIS. Listen, I don't like giving my money to entities that I don't trust. That's not really something I like to do because I'd rather control it myself. Obviously, we cannot do that here legally. So you will hope that there's an entity that you can trust. If you look at the rankings, if you look at the film, if you look at the last 4 years of Canes football, I think at this point, how can you say you don't trust the people handling the money? Anyone saying that? I mean, how could you even argue that? What would be the devil's advocate for that, right? So with that part checked, resoundingly. Again, if you don't believe me, turn on YouTube, watch our highlights of this year. Do what you can, because we all spend money on the Canes, whether it's buying tequila bottles, buying, seats in the Golden Canes. We all spend money on the Canes. This is where the money is going to make the most impact on what we see here at The Rock and on the road and in the college football playoff. Bottom line, point blank, period. Johnny Lagoon says, Canes connection better than Saudi funds. There you go. There you go. Let's keep it domestic. Let's support Canes connection.
Why not both?
All right, here we go. We got some names here. Let's see the names. We got oh wow, man, there's a ton of them here. We got CJ Bailey from Brandon. Eddie says quarterback from Cal, number 3, JKS.
JKS.
Mr. Merkface from Kentucky says Bailey. Grizz saying Sellers with a good squad around him.
I like this one from Green Tree. K9 says let Malachi play quarterback next year. Hey, I'm with it.
Hey, I can see it. Canes Cat Heat 305, DJ Lagway. Oof, I like it. A spicy take right there. We got Canes 2 Life, or Canes Life 2 says Ken Dorsey. Cloud Fleet saying Joe Flacco. I guess they must have seen that Old White's thumbnail.
Dude.
I thought you were the thumbnail king until I saw Coach JB.
I'll tell you what, I'll take Joe Flacco the way he's playing.
Oh, yeah. He's playing great. Aaron Rodgers playing great too, over 40, but DJ Ivy swatting down that Hail Mary. Shout out to DJ Ivy. One of the more maligned Canes. Not only is he in the NFL, I just watched him on the highlights, watching the McAfee show, swatting down Aaron Rodgers passes. So come a long way from getting killed by Canes fans. Shout out to DJ Ivy. Ron the Man, saying CJ Bailey if he comes with Jeremiah Smith. Canes Cat saying Arch Manning, so he said Lagway, now he's saying Manning, so he's throwing out the big names. I don't know if that one's on the move. We'll see. Alaric saying Bailey. The thinnest gorilla saying come on home to CJ Bailey. Lord Baconton's liking Brandon Sorby or Sellers. Some more CJ Bailey
I like
talk.
Levitt. I like Sam Levitt. Wow.
Oh, we got some dignitaries here at the Licken as we tamper openly. Can we introduce you guys, or are you guys secret? You tell me. You guys tell me. Well, come here. We got big game James Knable, SID for Canes baseball, personal liaison to Jimmy Johnson, right? Is that what you are?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we have a what's up? Did we have the scrimmage today? I thought there was some baseball being played.
There was an inter-squad scrimmage, and then we got a full 12 innings against FAU tomorrow at 1 p.m. Free admission, Mark Light milkshakes on deck, ready for you guys. So come out and see the 2026 Canes. We're about to make a serious run, make some noise here.
We got Taylene in the building, number 1 in the country. There she is.
I can't wait. We're gonna get that. I'm gonna get that order in right when we get off.
I know. I'm getting antsy, but we got big game James here. I gotta know. You can't tell me who played bad. It was inter-squad scrimmage, but tell me who played good. Give me the press release version of the scrimmage report. I wasn't there, so that people are asking me what happened. I can't tell them anything.
Take my mic. Wow, take the mic. Wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Daniel Couvet, obviously, is going to have a great season. Jake Ogden is playing on fire. He's got a lit fire under him. Max Gowan's going to be back. Derek Williams. Something that I really saw was Eric Peralta.
Okay.
He's a freshman. He definitely looks the part. I think I have.
Did he pitch today? Because he pitched the day I was there.
He pitched a few days ago.
Yep. Big boy.
Fired the hell out of the ball, man. I mean, there is some commanding presence on the mound. I think I have him at 6'5", 215, 220-ish.
Let me ask you a question. Because when I was there, they didn't have the miles per hour on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
First of all, that's a coaching decision, right? There's no glitch in the scoreboard. Okay. Number 2, with Peralta, are we getting in the higher end of the register on that? On the director's cut radar gun?
I'm going to keep it under wraps because I don't want JD Arteaga to call me and
wait. Who's your first opponent on the? Who's the first opponent on the schedule? Wait.
Cam, let's finish it up here.
Wait, who's the first opponent on the schedule?
We haven't released the schedule just yet. We're working out.
Okay, it's going to be
couple.
like Long Island or something, and you're saving this secret nuclear weapon for Long Island. They're going to see how hard he throws quick.
I keep it tight. We keep it tight over at Canes Baseball. We're working hard and we're putting in the work. That's
keep it tight but open, right? If you want to go by, if you're in the Coral Gables and you want to check out the boys,
right.
Roll through.
Absolutely.
It's
going to be an exciting time.
We got. I don't know if we got construction going on, or if like if Tony Soprano smashes someone's head into the door. Yeah, seriously, Kube's homer from the game I was at just landed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, James, talk to the people. What get them excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like we got JD Arteaga. He's a hometown, homegrown boy, Westminster high school guy, and he's honestly some similarities to Mario Cristobal, and they love the U. You talk about two guys that you come open, they bleed orange and green. They're passionate about their program. They believe in hard work. And they're recruiting their faces off. I mean, I just got back from a recruit photo shoot. I won't say who or what any of that, but I mean, we are stacking classes. We're ready to go, and this is going to be a very fun team to come out and support at Mark Field. And can't wait to see you there.
Freshmen look like big boys. They can do some damage at the licking.
That's the big yeah, they can absolutely. That's the big thing that I've noticed. They could probably strap up and play football.
Yeah, seriously. Peralta included.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of the freshmen that came in, Brandon DeGotti, Fabio Peralta, Mikey Torres out in center field, they're playing on just lean muscle. Coach Nick Soto, he works with a lot of MLB greats. They come down and train in Miami, and that gives a lot of confidence, and it's a recruiting tactic too. You're lifting right next to some serious MLB All-Stars right next to you. So those guys look good, but we got a lot of guys on the roster that are 6'2", 6'3", hovering around 200. Like, they look ready to go. Definitely look the part.
They go to the games. I see Arteaga here, Coach Arteaga. I see Soto here. So they'll stuff you in a trash can if they don't like some of the information that's being leaked on the Canes Inside podcast. Right. All right, big game, James. What's your prediction? You still take. Okay, I'm already hearing the nose.
No predictions. Yeah,
I'm already hearing the nose. Okay, so you can't talk about the football game because you do work with the football team. Mm-hmm. But you're expecting a big crowd, big show, national TV. It should be a showcase event.
Canes fans are the best fans in the world. I love it. I love being here. I'm a Pittsburgh boy, but Miami has my heart and soul for sure. 305.
All right, we've reached the limits of your ability to talk unless you want to talk about your personal life or something of that nature. So
you guys just do a great job, and shout out Cam Gorbett.
There we go. Big game, James Knable, the best in the business.
That was the first instance of one SID having to shut another one down.
Yeah,
but that's the greatness.
The sports information is being directed. It's being directed out the door.
It is. There is some associate athletic directoring going on around here. I'll tell you that much. Oh, man.
So they were tampering in the comments we left. Lord Baconton III says Washington from Maryland.
Talked about him yesterday on Group Chat Sports. Malik Washington, nice talent there, man.
Oh, here we go. Kane Scout was at the scrimmage. We should get him on the show. He could talk more to Knable. He says Kube hit a home run so far today. He went off the scoreboard when I was there. So that might have been the one that landed here.
There you go.
So Philip's saying Nico.
Yeah, I'll take Nico.
People thought you were clickbaiting with that one, but that was serious.
Very serious. You get him in the right system, get him. Heupel, not great history of QBs there. Just, really not. I'm messing around. Heupel's offense is great for quarterbacks. That's why that one didn't really make sense to me. They didn't trust him more there last year.
Well, Aguilar's doing his thing.
Aguilar's good too. I mean, he's a good fit for what they're doing. But no, I think they'll have better options than Nico, honestly.
Alehi's saying Pitt freshman quarterback. Oh, hey, by the way, shout out. Thank you, Night King. Shout out to Mark Fletcher. It's his birthday today. Let's give it up.
120 and 2 touchdowns today. Mark Fletcher for the birthday.
By the way, are you allowed to be on the show, or do you got to call your publicist? What's the story? You can come on. Which one who would you rather talk to, me or Pete? Pick one of us.
You can talk to him. I spent the whole day on the golf course with him.
You're going to order some food right now. What a son of a gun. All right. We had the face of the franchise. There we go.
All right,
there we go.
My phone is charging. I'm going to put this on right here.
We got the face of the franchise here, Kevin Clark. Let's start. Can you give us an Adam Schefter update on your contract status with the worldwide leader? Is that allowed?
No. It's good. It's all positive.
All positive.
It's all positive, and it all goes in the right direction. I don't know. They like to release that stuff. I'm not commenting on it. All I'll say is I'm not going anywhere.
not going anywhere. ESPN, the future is a die-hard Cane, and that is Kevin Clark. I already crossed the line on the first question. I couldn't even wait.
James. Wait, Corby. First question was my contract status at ESPN.
I was trying to,
It's all good, guys.
trying to break a story out here.
I'm putting your food order in now.
Give me that fried broccoli and the salmon.
Okay, north side.
What do you think, Taylene? String beans? Let's get the string beans, please. Thank you so much, Taylene. Best in the face of this franchise.
Is fake Gary Furman in the comments?
I've been trying to dial back on using fake Gary Furman comments. I don't want real Gary Furman to come at my neck when I see him.
It was some of the funny. When we did Hurricane, it's been living rent free in my head how funny fake Gary Furman was. And I kind of wish, I wish he was here, frankly. I don't know who he is.
Maybe it's the real one, man. Then he's just trying to live an alter ego, being the fake version of himself.
Yeah, this guy says Kevin Clark for PSU head coach.
There you go. You should come in the chat as a fake Kevin Clark and say all the things that you really want to say. And no one else suspects you.
I'll say anything.
Okay, well,
someone said to me earlier this week, and I thought it was a good take, this is going to be Miller Moss's last college start. We're just going to tee off on it. I don't want to endorse that. I'm just letting you know what people that I'm friends with are saying.
What are the rules on ESPN employees and tampering?
I'm not a college talent, so I could probably do whatever.
So let's go. So who we want as the quarterback of the Canes next year?
So what I'll say is this, and I would say this for Penn State head coach as well. I'm not going to give the same name. They could do both jobs. What I'm saying is the mentality. I think a lot of times we look at what we think are realistic targets. Mm-hmm. We say, oh, the Maryland kid. Right. Oh, this kid from the G5, Mensa from Tulane, right? And I don't think that Miami staff is looking at who's available. I think they're looking at the best person they can possibly get. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
This time last year, there is not a chance in the world we would have thought Carson Beck was going to be here.
Never.
Not a chance in the world. And so I don't want to give any names. All I'll say is because I don't know. What I'm saying is think as big as possible, because if Carson Beck goes first round, then we've become – in a way like what Lincoln Riley was a couple years ago, where it's come to Miami if you want to be the first round pick, right? That's what Lincoln Riley had to sell 4 years ago. It's what we can sell if we do it twice in a row. And so what I would say is don't limit your ambition, because Shannon Dawson's not, and Mario's not, and Dennis Smith's not.
And why should they? I mean, we're number 2 team in the country. You can't go higher than number 1, which is where Ward went. So that is the top of the scale. Is Lenore Sellers to you up there?
To me, first of all, if he gets healthy and plays for a month, he can be a first-round pick. He's really good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Really, really, really good.
And good kid, I heard, too.
Good kid. And what's funny is that I was on a podcast about 2 months ago, Saturday Down South podcast, and we were talking about different prospects. And I don't watch NFL prospects a lot before they're draft eligible as far as quarterbacks, stuff like that. I'll throw an eye. And so I was looking at Sellers, and what I was saying was, the one thing I don't like about him, he didn't last year keep his eyes downfield. He would just run. And he was really good at it.
Right.
But one thing that was amazing about Cam Ward is there'd be pressure. He'd move 8 steps to his right and then find someone, an undrafted free agent, 80 yards down the field. Okay. Yep. And that was what Cam Ward's unicorn. But I said it to this guy, Connor, who was my host, and he said, he watches a lot more South Carolina than I do. And he said, it's because his receivers weren't those guys.
Yeah.
They're not. What was the point in keeping your eyes downfield if there's not going to be a guy? There's not going to be a Restrepo who sat down in zone.
Yeah, Nick Harbor, a track runner, the 6'5", right. He's not doing those kind of things.
And so part of me is and I'm not saying Miami would be this. Part of me is saying, what if one of our sellers played at Texas or one of these other schools, right? That's part of me. But the other part of me is I just said, I think unlike Beck, unless he gets hurt again, he can show out and be a first-round pick next year. I don't know if there's necessarily a reason for him to come back for $5 million or whatever.
I was hoping reps, yes, the receivers could help show that he has the vision, but the receivers could also help show he has the vision. If he gets a Malachi Tony, they'll see that. Kind of reminds me of McNabb. By the way, I have to ask you, has there ever been, you like that?
Yeah, I just love just the throw. Just kind of reminds me of Diamond now. All right,
He's
anyway.
big, strong guy.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to ask you an important question, which is in ESPN, some of the biggest shows in the history of sports.
Yeah.
Is there ever a loud banging and construction sound playing simultaneous to
Well, here's what I'll say about this. So Omaha and ESPN were nice enough to build me a studio in my house, okay? It's what you see if you ever see my show, This Is Football, or any of the shows that I'm on, unless it's Get Up or First Take. I'm in this room, and it's a studio that they built me upstairs in my house. My son will scream bloody murder right outside the door, and it's the worst case scenario because the cameras can't hear it, so they have no idea why I'm like kind of like, is my son okay? But then I can hear the whole time. And so you'll see me like once every few weeks kind of stammer and be like, oh, yeah, anyway. And I'm listening because I'm like, is my son dying outside? And it turns out he's not. But yes, so that's my version of the loud banging, is that sometimes my son is just absolutely losing his freaking mind. I don't know if we can curse on here or not.
Oh, you can curse. I mean, there's questions in the chat about Saudi money that I'm keeping away from you out of respect after I already opened the door.
I can talk about Saudi
You can
money.
talk Saudi money? All right, let's
I
go.
want to talk about it.
Albert R. wants to know.
We're not taking Saudi money, number one. Number two is, so I think sometimes the fans and media have a different reaction to stories than coaches. So, like, we're sitting here being like, you can't take Saudi. You're crossing the Rubicon here. And I guarantee you, every recruiting coordinator and head coach in the Power Five is like, did it work? Should we be sending our guys? Like, every single person, that's their follow-up, right? And like, it reminds me, this is a weird story, but you guys remember when Nick O'Leary flicked off a referee or something? Do you remember this? He got suspended. Do you guys remember this?
I do.
Anybody remember?
I do.
Okay.
I love where this is going.
Nick O'Leary flicked off a referee and got suspended. And I remember running into a coach next day and we were talking about it. And the media was like, oh my God. And this coach was like, if every coach in America, if they didn't have Nick O'Leary number one on their board, now has him, because they absolutely freaking love that. Like, hell yeah. He got so pissed off he flicked off the referee after the game. Like, that's what coaches want. And so, like, Saudi money, same thing. It's like they're kind of like, oh, wow, Michael Barty, can we do that? By the way, can I get a phone number? Like, how do I get this meeting?
Johnny Lagoon says Kevin Clark needs to join Gary Furman at the tanning salon. I can confirm that the real Gary Furman's tan is outstanding. One of the best I've seen. Consistent, golden, well distributed. The guy's a stud. So I like the real Gary Furman. So I'm sorry that the fake Gary Furman is doing, cocaine with various UM alumni from the 80s in the chat.
I have to say, to defend myself on that one, I live in the Northeast. I play a lot of golf, but this time of year, I was playing fall golf yesterday morning, in fact. This time of year, it's really hard to pick up a tan.
Nick O'Leary's tan was not bad.
I agree with that. Where is he now? He's Jack Nicklaus' grandson, but I've never seen him on the links.
Really? He's a big guy.
Big guy. I've never heard of Nick O'Leary golfing anywhere. You'd think if you were the Golden Bears' grandson, you'd have a game.
Financial advice. He'd be a good wealth manager, like all the relationships and stuff, or like a relationship managing kind of guy.
Well, if you want to have good relationships in South Florida, you should go to University of Miami, not Florida State.
Can we get Nick, one of you guys, I know you guys are working on very important UM matters or Canes Connection matters. If we can get Nick O'Leary's LinkedIn, that would be appreciated, or at least call Pete in here. The guy's out here knee deep in fried broccoli and collard greens, and he's not doing his job. Taylene, thank you very much. So there we go, Nashville learning it here.
Yeah. Kevin,
serious question. You are as plugged into the NFL as anybody. That is why you've risen to the heights you've risen to. The question, I think a lot of people like myself, when we're thinking NFL right now as Canes fans, our focus is on number one for the Tennessee Titans and that whole scenario. Obviously, that organization seems a little tumultuous at the moment.
Yeah.
I saw Schrager tweeted something. What happened? Oh, there's like FSU?
Yeah. He's trying to say the FSU of
the Tennessee Titans.
The NFL, which I would never say.
That's what maybe if Ward went to FSU instead of Miami, he visited FSU. He might have been dealing with these kind of problems, certainly on the offensive line side.
He also visit Auburn. Was that called off?
I don't know if he made out there. I never heard that. I never heard that. That would have been a disaster too, probably. I mean, he would have made every situation better, but clearly some of the offensive line problems you see at these schools would have hurt him, as we're seeing here in the NFL.
Agree.
You tell me, from an NFL perspective, what's the NFL's view of everything that's going on in Tennessee? And is Ward's star dimming, or is it kind of like we got to wait and see a little bit?
The star's not dimming because number one, behind the scenes, I am banging the drum on the propaganda. Like I am texting a lot of my colleagues saying, you better not jump off the bandwagon. Don't do it. Don't do it. I feel like a Justin Herbert guy, you know, those guys where they're like, it's never his fault. It's not Cam Ward's fault. And I think people, you saw Dan Orlovsky's tweet last week where basically said once Cam Ward gets help, he's going to be, I think he's a top 8 player in this league. I agree. I think he's amazing. And the thing I always say about Ward was that every mistake he made here was him doing a bit. Like it was honestly like there were 2 interceptions he threw. They were real interceptions. They're both against Virginia Tech where he sailed the ball.
Yeah.
The other 5 were like him being like, what if I did the craziest fucking thing you've ever seen in your entire life?
Cal.
Cal, Duke. The one against Duke where there was a flag on us that he saw and he still, no good could have come of the play. And he still was like, what if I threw it up for grabs across my body in like a tightly contested game? That was the one where I was just like, we can't be doing that. We can't be doing it. But anyway, every time he made a mistake, it was a bit. And so you kind of got to coach that out of him, but you also don't want to take that part of his game out.
He's hit him already in the NFL.
He's hit them already. And so Philip is right. Golf in the Northeast does rock. It's very expensive. It costs 6 figures to join a good club. It's trouble. It's trouble. But so anyway.
Wait, hold on. What are you checking your watch for? You got a show coming up?
I'm getting texts. I'm trying to book people.
Wait, so you get your text on your watch like that?
Do you know what an Apple Watch is?
I've never worn a watch in my life. I don't even wear my wedding ring. I lost it in the ocean and kept it there for life.
When did that happen?
It was like 2 years in, and I lost my ring in the ocean.
Okay.
And I didn't want to buy a new one.
Okay.
But because I don't wear other jewelry, there was no like questioning, like, why are you not wearing your wedding ring? I just don't wear anything. You're out here checking your watch like Spock.
I got a text on my phone. I looked to see who it was from. That's a normal thing if you ever.
All right.
Did you guys know you can get texts on your iPhone? It's a pretty normal thing for you guys.
On my phone, I get text. Not on my watch.
Your Apple Watch. Your Apple Watch.
Do you talk to people on your watch?
I can if I wanted to.
Do you do it?
I tried it once and I felt weird about it.
It's like Star Trek talking on your phone, man. It's like, like calling Spock. You got to call Spock. Call Spock. Fix this. I didn't watch Star Trek, so my references kind of dried off after
call
the phone.
Spock. I don't think was ever said.
I don't know. Did you ever seen him do this thing? Anyways, so Kevin.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. I'm already a buzzing deep. So with respect to Cam Ward.
He's going to be fine. He's going to be one of the best players in the NFL. They're going to fix this thing.
Now, honestly, I want to ask you about this comments because it ties into something you said earlier, which was when O'Leary's flicking off the ref, when some of these things are happening, when Mike Lombardi's getting Saudi money, coaches react and GMs react differently to it. When Ward did his press conference, when he kept it a buck, told everybody that they were ass.
Yeah.
How do you think that was received by the NFL world?
So it's a great question. I think it sounds like Jeffrey Simmons liked it, and it sounds like the guys who suck didn't like it. Nick Saban is on our screen right now, and what does Nick Saban say? Mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people. My guess is that there's 8 guys on my 53 right now who are high achievers, and they don't like the mediocre people, and there happen to be a lot of mediocre people there. The story that came out last week in the Michael Silver column was that Jeffrey Simmons basically said to J.C. Latham, like, you suck. And it sounds like those 2 guys, who, by the way, fought earlier this year because they're alphas.
Yeah, SEC guys. SEC guys.
And we're SEC adjacent because we have SEC talent.
Oh, you're saying Ward and Simmons on the spot.
Yeah,
okay, I think I'll Latham
yeah,
and Simmons.
No. Ward and Simmons got in a fight. Alabama's barely an SEC program anymore.
They're real SEC Pac-10. We don't keep our conversations political.
Yeah.
But the West Coast nature of Alabama just hurts me in my core. I'm glad as someone who doesn't want Alabama to win anymore. But they're passing it on 4th and 1. I mean, they are quite a finesse program. I see you eyeing that food.
No, I put it in an order, and when that happens,
what'd you order?
Wings, buffalo wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But what I'll say is that I had a funny thing. I actually talked about this on Meetup Counts podcast recently, which is that I thought that Kalen DeBoer was an amazing coach. And then I saw him roll out against Florida State, and I was like, an amazing coach watches 8 minutes of Gus Malzahn film before a game. So Kalen DeBoer is not an amazing coach.
So you're out totally.
A little bit. So then I was like, well, then maybe Michael Penix is like an amazing quarterback. Maybe he's a Michael Penix merchant.
Yeah.
And then Michael Penix is mediocre. So now I'm like, are they all room with
Oh, so you're out on Penix
No,
already.
I'm back in on Penix.
Come on, stay in on Penix. What's wrong with Penix?
Are they all Roger Rosengarten merchants? I don't know. And so I think someone's responsible for that Washington team. And I don't think it was Kalen DeBoer. I think it was probably Michael Penix.
Well, look, they had a great quarterback.
Yeah.
They had 3 NFL caliber receivers. They didn't really run the ball, and their defense stunk. I mean, that to me sounds like Alabama right now, basically. They have 3 great receivers, or 3, high-quality receivers, guys who'll play pro, including some high-round picks. They got good quarterback. I mean, I like Ty Simpson. I don't know where you're at on him. I think he's, at least for college, he's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
It's basically his Washington team, the team he has now in the SEC, and it's quite – are you distracted by the drilling outside? A little worse than Teddy's wailing? This loud drill?
It's a little different.
Does anyone know what kind of tool this is?
That's Nick O'Leary out there.
Back to Cam Ward, because I didn't want to get off this topic, because you're the one that's got probably the most Cam Ward perspective of anybody as far as the both sides of the deal. So you mentioned, alphas like alphas, that just trying to preserve what you got and find the next move.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with the organization. You know more than me. I've heard floated.
Yeah.
Which we saw with a guy like, let's see Dallas Cowboys when their transition, going from terrible, maybe it's not on mine because of the documentary, how they went from worst to first. They went and got a college coach. Could the Tennessee Titans grab a Lincoln Riley for a Cam Ward?
I would say this. Oftentimes, teams hire the opposite of the guy they just fired. So, like, Brian Flores is a hard-ass defensive coach. We're going to go get Mike McDaniel, who calls offense and is basically personality-wise the exact opposite of a hard-ass, right? Yep. I'd be shocked if they went from Brian Callahan, who was an unproven, I think really highly of, still unproven offensive coordinator, didn't even call plays with the Bengals. And then they transition that to another relative, because college guys are, in theory, they're unproven at the NFL. They've never been there. They've never been there. And it's interesting to me because I don't think, first of all, do the Titans want to pay as much money as Lincoln Riley would command at the NFL level? Does Lincoln Riley – I was thinking about this with Matt Rule earlier today. We were talking. And I was like, does Matt Rule want to leave? Matt Rule's whole thing is taking these athletes and developing them. You did that at Baylor and Temple. You're taking track guys. You're taking unheralded guys.
Verified
really developing them. I'm not going to check my watch. I just got a text though. And it's starting to get rolling at Nebraska.
Yeah.
So do you really want to leave?
Slowly rolling.
Yeah, but they might make the.
They're going in the right direction.
They're as rolling as Nebraska is going to get here. So do you want to? You could say, hey, we're going to reset the clock.
It's like a wagon rolling.
Yeah, we're going to reset the clock and get 5 more years, which maybe is what you want at Penn State, fully guaranteed, whatever. Or do you want to say, hey, we're at Nebraska, we have 1 loss, we have Dylan Raiola, we're rolling in the right direction, let's just stay. For me with Lincoln Riley, USC starting to commit money with NIL. They hired a GM who sounds like a badass, and things are starting to look a certain way recruiting wise. Doesn't look like that on the field, but they've got did they have the number 1 class in America? Right?
Yeah, they got like 36 kids or something crazy. They're
is it an affiliated class, like a Randy Shannon 08 class?
They're getting a lot of good kids, but they're signing an extraordinary amount of kids. That's their model. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to just overload that in a way that's unusual.
Isn't Belichick? Doesn't he have like 32 commits too in high school?
Yeah. They're trying to sign 2 recruiting classes in 1. That was the Mike Lombardi innovation.
Well, it sounds like that's his second best innovation.
Did you see his email that he sent out?
I did.
He's going to be on the I mean, do you need a co-host?
I used to work with Mike Lombardi.
Did you really?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic there. So, okay. Yeah, Lincoln Riley, maybe that won't work. So what do you want to see happen with Cam Ward? You are –
Okay, so I would never do this, but – like typically in a normal spot, I want like a Mike McCarthy. I want someone to come in and just be, you know what they really need, and Manny ruined this for us. Like they need their Mark Richt, where it's like he's not going to Super Bowl, but he's going to come in and say, "This is how you professionalize this operation.
Make it serious.
Like this is real. Like these are what you need. This is how you run practice. This is how you have a facility. This is how you have a recruiting plan." We didn't have that for a long time. And the Mark Rick said, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Yep.
Manny ruined that and undid it. But now we have that times 100, right? And so what Tennessee needs to worry about, from my perspective, is hiring the guy before the guy.
I like that. Pete, I have a question for you. Did you send Taylene out to get the construction guys to stop?
I told her to ask what the deal, like if she knew what the deal was. She said they're building another VIP room.
So you came fresh off the gym, lifting heavy, and you sent the dainty waitress out here to get the construction built.
Over there, I asked her if she knew, and then
she went and handled the situation like a boss. Taylene, running the show out here. You're out here. What are you doing out there? Are you throwing in pics? What are you doing over there? Legs crossed?
I'm running the social media, letting Kevin Clark, ESPN.
He'd probably rather you didn't. He would probably rather you didn't right now. K. Clark.
Okay with that.
How are we doing? Nice pass. You get the media pass on here?
Well, that's only I got a media pass because I drove with Kim Gorby, and I'm going to need some.
Is that for the parking?
Yeah, I'm going with him, and so I think these are mine.
They look pretty good.
Yeah, they do look pretty good.
Taylene,
thank you.
How come Peter didn't go out there and stop these construction people on his own? He sent you to handle the situation like a boss while he's out here playing with his phone. We know who runs stuff out here at the Lickin'.
Rings fine. Great. Just a water, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Huh? Are you saying I need one? I would take a water. Yeah, a water would be great. Thank you, Taylene. There we go. I didn't know what's going on in the comments because Pete's out there checking the Saudi Arabian box scores from the pitch. How do they keep their pitches like with water out there? Isn't it a desert? Sorry, we got ESPN superstar Kevin Clark here on the Canes Inside podcast. So you got your wings.
I got yeah.
Get us out of here. What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about? Tell the Canes fans before you get out of here.
Yeah, I think that this is the best team in 23 years. I think we're going to make the playoffs. I think I think that we're one of 4 teams that can win the national championship. And I'm going to this game tonight. I'm going to be loud and abrasive. And I will also be loud and abrasive at the Pitt game on Thanksgiving weekend. And so I was at the Syracuse game last year. Talked about that in the past. And I'm leaving nothing to chance at the Pitt game this week. This year. I got a room at the team hotel. Last year I stayed across the street. Didn't work. So now we're gonna be at the team hotel in Pittsburgh. And I'm locked in. I'm not gonna let what I let happen at Syracuse. I'm not gonna let that happen at Pitt.
You know it's gonna be Beatlemania now. You just let all the fans know exactly where you're gonna be.
They don't know. The team. You know they didn't say the name of the hotel.
We got SIDs spilling the beans left and right over here on the show. I don't know if these guys keep a tight lid.
That one. Yeah.
Kevin,
also the baseball scrimmage updates.
Hey, listen, we got the Cuvée Homer from the chat. Our chat's got the scoop. Kevin, you're the man. Appreciate you. Enjoy those wings. We will see you next hour. Go Canes.